Logan, mate, look, I'm really sorry that it's had to come to this, but I don't know what else to do other than threaten your life. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Today it is the Spanish Grand Prix at Catalunya, and well, the elephant in the room is Logan Sargeant, isn't it? After last race, punted us out of first and second. Yeah, and it was just disappointing. There's been a lot of comments since last episode. What do we do with Sargeant? A few of you saying we just get rid of trying to have American drivers because they're not good enough. I'm hesitant to do that only because I feel like it was the whole point was to we know they're not good enough. That was kind of the point. There's never really been one other since Mario Andretti that I think even won a race. So, you know, we're going back 50 years or so at this point. So I do kind of feel like that was the point. Overtaking we'll stick that's where we'll stick that for Sargeant, and I think for K-Mag, who does have a point, do we stick it into defending? I don't know. I mean, what do you tell K-Mag at that point? Anyway, so we'll give him a bit of control, and Crawford will keep going with his development there. Yeah, so I ultimately I don't know what to do. There was people saying, can we just suspend him for a little bit and send up what's his face, Crawford? There's no option to do that. I don't have an option to relegate Sargeant. If we were to get rid of him, then what we would be doing basically is we'd be taking Jack Crawford, we'd be negotiating a new contract, and we would be putting him into the first car basically. So actually, I don't even see how I could. Maybe we can't do it because it's the race weekend, yeah. But that's how we would have to do it. There is no promotion relegation option like there would be, say, in real life with Kvyat and well, it wasn't really a reserve. It was more between teams. But Kvyat and Verstappen back in the day, we don't have that option to do that, unfortunately. So yeah. Let's see how he goes. Say it every race. Let's see how he goes today. Maybe we can get rid of the clown outfit today. I mean, I feel like at this point we need to sort of play like strip clown poker with him. Like every race he does, it'll be good. He can lose a piece of clown apparel. Maybe that's the way forward for him. But anyway, if we go and have a look at staff, the race engineer for Magnussen does have an extra development point. We'll stick that in the pit crew management. I don't really understand why. I mean, yes, I get that you get the feedback quicker and you can set the car up quicker, but just get the pit crew. Like, we're still like we're struggling for the most part to get a setup, so we'll just keep sticking it in pit crew. I don't see why we wouldn't do that. We haven't had a chance to do anything on the car. It's been a 2-week break, but we're still waiting. If we go to car development, you can see there 3 days for the new suspension research, and the side pods is 12 days away. And then once that's happened, obviously we can go again on things, but. Yeah, so we haven't had anything new on the car for this race. So let's go and have a look at what we're expecting here. The Barcelona circuit, we can see there we're expecting a dry weekend. We can see the sectors for qualifying purposes: red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. Sections by speed, a little bit of everything at this track, which is why most seasons they do tend to test there. Car attributes. Acceleration, low and medium speed cornering, all things that are decent for us at least at this point. Time considerations: the virtual safety car halves the pit stop time, so that is definitely something to take into account. It's going to be a 2-stop. Soft, medium, soft is going to be the aggressive way to go, isn't it? Medium, soft. Do we look to save a set of medium tires? Potentially we could look to do that. Yeah, but we'll see how that plays out. Time difference, there's not a massive difference in time between a soft and a hard. 7/10 of a second, 7.5 of a second, so it's not huge. And the drop off is not really that big either, which makes you wonder why it's a 2-stop. Why isn't it a 1-stop? Could you do a medium to hard? Anyway, maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. Last year's race, it was another win for Kevin Magnussen. Back-to-back wins at the time, and Sargeant was 4th, so almost back-to-back podiums for him. At this point, I think we really just want Sargeant to just. This is what I don't understand, and it was pointed up at the end of last season. Sargeant was starting to do really, really well, and something happened, and it baffles me. I don't understand what has happened to him, that he's literally the laughing stock at this point. So, yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at what we can do in terms of performance targets. Now, of course, the other thing of Sargeant's little antics last time out was that we lost our finishing streak in the points. So, do we do a fastest lap? We might as well go for it. So yeah, that's sort of doubly frustrating, though there is a potential if you get 2 cars. Well, that's not happening, is it? Sargeant needs to be scoring 0.5 races in a row. I just don't see that happening. And qualifying streak, 1 car in the top 10, 5 times. We should do that. K-Mag can do that. I don't think Sargeant can take him out in qualifying. Maybe he can. That's a challenge for him, isn't it? All right, let's head off to Spain. All right, so confirmation of the weather. I'm going to do free practice now. I will just in advance say I've been doing like upgrading stuff on the computer, and it's as it tends to do always. I know it happens to everybody else, but for me anyway, you upgrade something and everything just gets stuffed up. If the recording or sound quality isn't what it should be, I apologize. I'm not going to know until I go back to edit. So I'm going to do my very, very best here to make sure it's the usual quality, but if not, apologies in advance. Okay, we have done free practice. Let's have a look and see how we did. FP1, we had Sargeant in the car up there in 10th, and we had Crawford down there in 17th. Now, we have gone back to the old engine and gearbox, so hopefully with the fresh engine and gearbox we're about to put back in for qualifying, we'll see an improvement a little bit beyond even this. So K-Mag in the car was 5th in FP2 with Sargeant down there in 13th. And have a look at the bottom part of the grid there. And FP3. Now, it was K-Mag that stuck it in the wall in this one, so we lost some time as we had to repair his car, and that has meant we haven't actually got him a setup that he's happy with as of yet. So that's not ideal. Sargeant down there in 12th as well. Yeah, this hasn't been the ideal preparation for this one, but we'll go and have a look here and see what we're doing. We will be going and putting in the new engine and the new, well, I say new, the ones that we used in the last race, and the new gearbox. So that will hopefully, as I say, improve performance a little bit. We'll do the same thing for K-Mag. You can see he hasn't got a setup that he's happy with as of yet. I think we're going to nail it, but the time that he lost, excuse me, we had to replace the underfloor, which lost him quite a bit of time. So yeah, I think he's going to have a setup he's happy with, but we've got to actually, at some point, figure out if it is actually the case or not. But anyway, Q1 should be fine. Let's go and do that. Okay, now it was fine. We got through with one run. Sargeant missed the pit lane or something, ran out of petrol, so I think he's out of qualifying, which means he's going to start 15th. He's not helping himself, is he? Unbelievable, Logan. All right, so we are on board with K-Mag because Sargeant is indeed out of the session. I don't know what happened. They both did the same run, and Sargeant, for whatever reason, didn't come in, and so ran out of petrol out on track. I don't want to... Maybe it was partly my fault. Maybe I clicked something wrong. Who knows? Anyway, K-Mag's in 6th. Let's have a look. Is anybody here going any quicker? There is a little bit of green up there, but nothing too much. So I don't think that should worry us. So this is on a new set of tyres as well. Well, I mean, one positive, Sargeant's going to have so many tyres for the race, having used exactly one set. There we go. Up to 4th for K-Mag, though. And confirmation, Sargeant is out of qualifying. He will start the race 15th. At least if he's 15th, he's unlikely to be anywhere near the back of Kevin Magnussen, isn't he? So that could be something. Anyway, let's go to Q3. Alright, so on a U set of tyres, Kevin Magnussen is currently sitting 3rd, ahead of both the Red Bulls. Only the Ferraris in front. And if he can do a good lap here, well, you never know. On a new set of tyres, could he be about to stick it on pole here? Only a yellow first sector, so he hasn't done his personal best there, which is not ideal. But yeah, it could be like 0.001 behind it for what we know at this point. Let's see if he can do a green middle sector and put himself in contention here for at least the front row, if not the pole position. Again, a yellow sector. And on brand new tyres, that's a little bit disappointing. He may have absolutely nailed the lap that he did get on the first time around. He's back to 4th as Verstappen goes in front. Can he get himself back in front of Max Verstappen at least? No, he will start 4th. So a little bit of an anticlimax there. Slower in on his second run, but that's not bad, is it? Dipped into the 16s as well, so that's only what, 3 other cars have done that. So that looks good on qualifying pace. Hopefully race pace will be there as well. Alright, so let's talk strategy. We can't take penalties with Sargeant because we haven't used all the parts as of yet. I didn't save a set of mediums. Looks of things you don't need to, because you can very much get there on... how far does a hard tyre go? Could you get there hard soft, I wonder? So hard soft, you could do it. It says it's 9 seconds slower, and it's very, very marginal as well, so I don't think it's worth doing. So I think we'll go in here for this middle strategy. Can we have a push on the medium tyre? Now, of course, the question is, do we want Sargeant pushing? But... we'll do that, and that can be his strategy. And to be honest, we'll probably do something very, very similar with Kevin Magnussen as well, just because it seems to be the quickest way to do it to me. So yeah, we do a push on the medium, pit a bit. No, wait, wrong way. Pit a bit there and a bit earlier there. And yeah, well, we'll see how we go here. Hopefully we just finish the race. Okay, welcome back. I mean, who knows? Maybe, you know, Sargeant sitting way back there, nothing to lose, will have the drive of his life, and well, I'd almost go as far as to say save his career with us, because he is really, really annoying me. Now, it looks as though Magnussen, if we jump up here with him, Alonso has had a very Alonso start. Maybe we've just had a very bad one. But, yeah, that's not ideal. We've dropped back a position already, though we might get him here. We are on deploy, as always on the first couple of laps, just trying to take advantage as much as possible on the tyres and everybody being close together. A bit of a mixed bag in terms of tyres, it looks like. Alonso on a medium, though. We do not want to be getting stuck, excuse me, stuck behind him here. Sargeant is up into 15th again, having, it looks like, dropped down to 16th momentarily. And let's see if we can get Alonso here. Looks like we've got a good launch out of the last corner. Can we go and stick one on him? No. Alonso, not an easy man to overtake, is there? He's probably the worst man we could be stuck behind, to be honest. But we'll see. Oh, a little bit of a snap of oversteer there. Around the outside, we'll do well to get that move done. And well, we can see the Ferraris and Verstappen in front just slowly going away as Sargeant overtakes Ricciardo. Can we stick it to the outside? Go on, K-Mag. He just might do that, you know. There's a move for you. Very, very nicely done, Kevin Magnussen. And Sargeant on a bit of a fire up the grid here as well, as he overtakes Ricciardo. And then, in very quick succession, Vettel to get himself up into 13th. So very nicely done. He can overtake, just not when he's his teammate in front. So we are back on board with Kevin Magnussen as DRS is now active. We will go back to neutral on our ERS. And, well, we'll sort of settle down now and see where this race takes us. 66-lap race. Probably 2 stops for everybody. So there's a lot to happen here, I have absolutely no doubt. Let's hope Sargeant can come forward quite quickly as well. Oh, Sargeant, you've done that again. All right.
Take a look now. Now just
let's put this to a poll.
Just a bit too heavy on the brakes,
I mean, is he trying to overtake again? What do we do? Like, we can't keep going on like this, can we? I know the point of the series was American drivers, but I don't know if it's. I kind of wanted to stick with him to see, you know, can he ever do something right? I mean, just for entertainment value. But, I mean, this time next year, we're not going to have Magnussen in the car. We're not going to score any points. I'm going to get fired. Yeah, I don't know what to do with him. I just don't know. I mean, what could it be that's wrong with him at this point, though? Like, is it just that his overtaking attribute is too low? Is the car too quick for him? Because this time last year, we saw he was 3rd in Miami, 4th in this race. And yes, he's further down the grid because I don't think I just did what I usually do, you know, in the qualifying, and he just didn't come in for whatever reason. We can see he's quick. I mean, look at the speed of which he's catching up these cars, and this is not with deploy on either. I'm confused as to what's going on as much as anything, and yeah, well, I just don't know what to do to fix it. Anyway, let's see if he can go last to first or something magnificent like that. Alright, we've had a crash. It's not Sargeant. It's not Magnussen. Is it just a yellow flag? It looks like it is just a yellow flag. And it is Albon that has crashed. What's he done? Has he done a bit of a Logan Sargeant here, I wonder? He just may have, you know. Is he going to run up the back of a McLaren? No, he's literally done a Sargeant and just, made a mess of it too. Alright, we have been charging up, harvesting and all that stuff behind Verstappen and Leclerc here. They've been battling back and forth. Sainz is driving off into the distance. We're now going to try and use the overtake, and if we could maybe do a double overtake here, it doesn't look like we can quite do that. We need to get something done here, though, because we appear to be faster than them, and they are just holding us up right now. As for Sargeant, he's come back through. He's 15th, but I'm still mad at him, and we're just... When he gets into the points, we'll acknowledge his existence again. But until then, there's just an unrecognizable car on the track in Haas colours. But yeah, we'll give this another go. The overtake down here. I wonder if maybe with Verstappen in front, if if that will work a little bit better for us. Or he was in front last time, wasn't he? Maybe we need the Ferrari in front. Come on. Come on, K-Mag. Come on, K-Mag. It's just not quite happening, is it? We're just a little bit stuck. So what we might do is we might try and look to do a bit of an undercut or an overcut here. Maybe that's the best way past these two. We've got to get something done, though. Sainz is now almost 5 seconds up the road. All right, it is go time. It is Verstappen in the pits. We have now a chance to overtake Leclerc down this straight if we can manage it. It'll be perfect. Oh, we just can't quite. Just can't quite do it. But we're going to deploy, and this is, as I said, this is our go time now. We've got to try and, well, we've got past Leclerc, and now we've got to try and match Verstappen's times, although he is going to be on a new set of tyres. What sort of compound is he on? We need to go to tyres first, and we will see Verstappen is, when he came out way down, is on a medium. So, oh, he's run wide, Sargeant, you absolute moron. Absolute moron. Just when I start to think he's coming good, up to 13th, although he's got past Vettel, and some pit stops that are probably helping. I don't even know why I watch these replays, it just makes me angry. He just got past Vettel, and to be fair to him, didn't cost him anything, so... Alright, now we've just seen Leclerc has come into the pits as well. What I don't want to do here is become victim of an undercut. Magnussen did the fastest lap last time around after Verstappen had pit. So we're going to come in this lap and see where it brings us out. Hopefully in front of Verstappen and Leclerc, and that would have worked out nicely for us. And then Sargeant is coming in this lap as well. There's been a few other pit stops happening, so he's up into 9th right now. Though it's not a realistic 9th. Let's jump on board here with K-Mag. Is he going to get out in front of Verstappen and Leclerc? I think he is. He's even in front of Vettel. So we've got a little bit of a cars gap there as well, which is nice. And a 2.8 second stop for Sargeant. He comes out down there in 18th. And, yeah, well, that's a long way back for him, isn't it? Silly boy. Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit unusual here and give some credit to Logan Sargeant. He is absolutely flying. He's back up to 13th. This is 11th that's in front of us. He's unfortunately stuck in a bit of a DRS train. So if he can get himself past here. But, you know, to go from last to 13th in, what, 14 or so laps? Maybe a little bit more than that. That's not bad. It really isn't. This is what I find so frustrating about him, though, is that he is quick. He's getting closer and closer to K-Mag as well in in qualifying and just in terms of sort of average lap times and things like that. You know, so he's often a 10th, maybe 2/10 off of K-Mag these days. So he just is his own worst enemy, and it is the most frustrating thing ever. In terms of K-Mag, he is driven away from Leclerc and Verstappen. He's a clear second now. I think Sainz has got him covered though. Sainz is quite quick here, and yeah, so I think it's second is his best result. There's definitely points on the table here for Sargeant, though. He does need to get some overtaking done, and that's where he usually lets himself down, isn't it? But if he can get past these two cars in front, he might even try doing a bit of harvesting and see if he can do that while he's stuck behind them. And, of course, we're going to go to a soft tyre at the end as well. I'm not sure what everybody else is doing, but that was sort of an Aussie villain special, that strategy. It wasn't an AI strategy, so we'll see what happens. But if Sargeant ever learns to keep this car on the road regularly for, more than a race at a time, then he could be dangerous. He already is dangerous, I suppose, but a different sort of dangerous. Alright, now we are coming up on the second stop. Sargeant is coming in this lap. He's still stuck behind these two. Now, I'm starting to think some of these cars might be trying to stretch it to the end. And if that's the case, then we are going to be much, much quicker than them when they do eventually stop. So we'll see what sort of stop we do get here from Sargeant. Is we under 3, 2.9, we'll take it. And hopefully we don't get too much traffic here. That's not ideal. That's not ideal, and that's Bottas as well. We've charged up his battery, so we will go on to deploy. We will also stop K-Mag this lap. Deploy, please. We don't need you doing that much stress on the tyres, though, please, Logan. And yeah, well, as I say, this is not ideal. He needs to get these overtakes done quickly and to keep it on the track. Sonoda, no problem. Well done, Logan. Can he go and get Bottas as well now? And well, time we're going to find out, aren't we? If everybody else is one stopping, I don't think it necessarily disadvantages us too badly because we're going to have significantly faster tyres than them. And if they are, if we can get an overcut now, then that is very much job done, isn't it? As a good overtake there again from Logan Sargeant. And we'll keep pushing on these deploy laps as K-Mag is in the pits. And let's see what sort of stop we get from him. Leclerc and Verstappen are in as well. So that suggests everybody is going to be doing a second stop. Hopefully, we will get out. We did have a little bit of margin on them. Yeah, we do. Not a problem there at all. We will just, again, back off these tyres here a little bit on K-Mag's car. Don't want to destroy the softs too early on here. And I do suspect that in K-Mag's case, he is kind of just racing to get to... the battery's come to an end there. K-Mag is just kind of racing for second anyway. Now, where do we come out here? We've got past one. We've got past Ocon as well. All right, fastest lap of the race for Logan Sargeant, a 19 flat. And he is suddenly one place outside of the points. And in terms of pit stops, Gasly's still got to stop. Now, he came out in front of Ricciardo, who he was battling with. So, Sargeant could find himself in the points here, which would be, to be fair to him, a very, very decent recovery. Like I understand, he's put himself in these positions. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that going to be a safety car? I had a mild heart attack there when I saw... Oh, what do you do with him? Alright, we are back on board with Sargeant against my better judgment. He's up to 11th again. I mean, he could, on this race, quite easily, I think, if, got a top 5 finish, but... he's killing me. I can feel him taking years off my life at this point. Alright, we're trying to harvest a little bit. Hopefully, we're not going to see Bottas come back past us here. We just need a little bit so we can get the overtake done, and then I think we'll be free and clear, and we might even be able to... What's Hamilton's lap times looking like? He's doing 120s, so maybe we'll be able to catch up on him a little bit, but if we can just get into the points, honestly, it's been that sort of race from him off the track 3 times. 15th to last, to 10th to last, it just... Anyway, alright. Let's go deploy. Let's close up this gap. And let's just get it done. Please, Logan. Come on, mate. DRS assisted. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Past he goes. Ocon cooperates somewhat. I mean, to be honest, you just let him go past. It's in your own interest to let him go. He's probably going to send it off the road anyway. Just make sure you're not in front of him. So if he can drive up, get out of DRS here, then he'll be absolutely fine. And he's just got to keep it on the road, which for Logan is a very, very difficult thing to do. Alright, we are coming around. Sainz is on the last lap. K-Mag has just started the last lap. Sargeant has lost out again to... Alright, it's not... it's not Magnussen. He's lost out again to Ocon here. So we are going to try a recharge lap. And then we're going to try and deploy and just send everything we've got down this front straight to get him back on the last lap. Come on. Come on, Logan. Please do something right today. Please do something right today. Please do something right today. He has got it done, has he? Yes! Logan Sargeant, as Sainz dominates the Grand Prix to win his home race. It's hard to take that away from him. He's been absolutely brilliant. As Magnussen will come around to finish second, and he's been just as dominant in that second place, I've got to say. But can Sargeant now hang on? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's it. He's gone. I can't. Logan. So there we go, a wonderful drive from Kevin Magnussen, all the way from 4th to 2nd. And yeah, just he deserved it, didn't he? He really, really did. And Logan Sargeant, I mean, I don't have words for him anymore. He just had to do one lap. without crashing, and he couldn't even do that. He crashed for the 4th time. And I just don't know. I just don't know. Magnussen up there into 3rd in the championship now, which is good for him. The constructors, I mean, it's just basically Magnussen plus 2 points, isn't it? 87 we have now. Pulled out a nice little gap back on Mercedes there, which is good. But yeah, what do we do with Logan Sargeant? We can't keep him at this point, can we? Surely. We've done, what, 5 or 6 races this season? And he has made at least one, I think at least probably 2 mistakes every single race. I don't know what to do. If you want to see us stick with American drivers, let me know in the comments, or else I think we have to do something. I just don't think we can keep Sargeant unless, you know, like I say, the goal of the series was American drivers. If someone wants to see that continue, then I'm happy to... Am I happy to keep doing it? I don't know anymore. But, you got to help yourself, Logan. Take care.